Have you ever wondered what truly separates the wealthy from everyone else? It's not only the habits they practice, it's also the habits they deliberately avoid. What if the secret to building wealth wasn't just about what you do, but about what you refuse to do? This flips the perspective. Instead of adding more pressure to do more, it makes you pause and realize that success also means letting go of what holds you back. Most people chase money by working harder, but the rich, they become wealthy by sidestepping traps that silently keep others poor. This creates intrigue and makes the listener curious. What are these traps? Am I falling into them without knowing? Discover the 6 things rich people never do. You'll uncover the roadmap to lasting prosperity that has been right in front of you all along. This ties the promise directly to the heart of the message: practical, actionable, and life-changing. Now, before we dive into the 6 principles, take a moment to reflect. Wealth is not only about building the right habits, it is also about avoiding the wrong ones. If you keep doing what drains your energy, your focus, and your money, no amount of effort will ever feel enough. But once you learn to eliminate these costly mistakes, you'll free up the space for growth, for abundance, and for the life you've always wanted. So, let's begin this journey together. The first thing rich people never do is dwell on regret. Instead, they master the art of moving forward. Number 1, they never waste time on regret. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It keeps you chained to the past, replaying mistakes over and over, as if reliving them could somehow change the outcome. But here's the truth: no amount of regret can rewrite what has already happened. Rich people understand this deeply. They know that time is their most valuable asset, more precious than money, more irreplaceable than any possession, and they refuse to waste it living in the shadows of what if. Where others see mistakes as failures, the wealthy see them as lessons. A poor mindset says, "I should have done better. I ruined my chance." But a wealthy mindset says, "That mistake taught me something. I won't repeat it, and I'll use it to grow stronger." Think about it. How many hours, days, even years are lost because people dwell on opportunities missed, bad choices made, or risks they were too afraid to take? Meanwhile, the wealthy keep moving forward, redirecting their energy toward what can still be built, rather than what has been lost. It's not that rich people don't make mistakes. They do, sometimes big ones. The difference is, they don't stay stuck in the quicksand of regret. They cut their losses, extract the lesson, and step forward with clearer vision. Imagine driving a car while staring only in the rearview mirror. You might know exactly where you've been, but you'll crash trying to move ahead. Life works the same way. Wealth comes to those who focus more on the windshield, the possibilities ahead, than the mirror behind. So, if you want to walk the same path, release regret. Treat your past as a teacher, not a prison. Every mistake can be recycled into wisdom, but only if you stop reliving it and start applying it. As we move forward, remember this: letting go of regret frees your time, your energy, and your vision, and the wealthy never waste those now. Let's explore the second thing rich people never do. Number 2, they never put all their eggs in one basket. There is an old proverb that says, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." It sounds simple, even obvious, yet countless people ignore it and pay the price. Many live with only one source of income, depending entirely on their salary. The problem: the moment that job is gone, so is their stability. The wealthy avoid this trap because they understand one undeniable truth. Security comes not from one stream of money, but from many. Rich people diversify. They build multiple baskets. They invest in businesses, real estate, stocks, or even their own skills that generate different forms of income. Each source acts like a pillar, holding up the structure of their wealth. If one pillar falls, the house still stands strong. Those who remain poor often gamble everything on a single opportunity. A job, a business, even a lucky break. And when it fails, everything crumbles. But the wealthy see money as seeds. They plant them in many different soils. Some may not grow, some may take time, but enough will flourish to create an orchard that feeds them for a lifetime. Think of it like a river. If there's only one stream feeding it, a drought will leave it dry. But if there are many tributaries flowing in, the river stays alive, no matter the season. Wealth works the same way. This doesn't mean chasing every shiny idea or scattering your focus. The rich don't diversify blindly, they diversify wisely. Each choice is researched, calculated, and aligned with their bigger vision. So ask yourself, how many baskets are you relying on? If the answer is just one, it's time to expand, because true wealth is not built on fragile foundations. It's built on multiple pillars that stand the test of time. And, as we move forward, we'll uncover another trap the wealthy always avoid. Number 3, they never spend without a plan. Money without a plan is like water poured into sand. It disappears before you even realize it's gone. This is why one of the greatest mistakes people make is spending impulsively, with no clear direction. Wealthy know that every dollar has a purpose. They don't let money slip through their fingers on whims or emotions. Instead, they assign it tasks. This portion grows investments, this portion covers necessities, this portion supports lifestyle, and this portion is saved for the future. In their world, money works like an army. Every soldier has an assignment, and none are left wandering aimlessly. Contrast this with those who stay poor. They often spend to satisfy impulses, the latest gadget, clothes they don't need, nights out they can't afford. It feels good in the moment, but over time, these choices bleed their future dry. Without a plan, they're left wondering where their paycheck went, month after month. Wealthy people understand that budgeting is not about restriction, it's about direction. A plan is not a cage, it is a compass. It doesn't trap you, it guides you toward your bigger goals. With a plan, every expense is intentional. Without a plan, every expense is accidental. Think of it this way. If you boarded a ship without a map, would you be surprised if you drifted endlessly at sea? That's what happens when people handle money without a plan. They end up lost, surviving paycheck to paycheck, with no destination in sight. Rich people don't let that happen. They map their journey, set priorities, and align spending with long-term vision. They know that wealth isn't built by chance. It's built by choice, repeated day after day. So if you want to follow their path, stop spending unconsciously. Start giving your money direction, because the truth is, when you control where your money goes, you also control where your life is heading. And this leads us to the 4th thing rich people never do. Number 4, they never ignore opportunities to grow. Growth is the heartbeat of wealth. Without growth, money eventually runs out, businesses collapse, and even talents fade away. That's why one thing the wealthy never do is ignore opportunities. To grow, rich people understand that wealth is not just measured in dollars. It's measured in knowledge, skills, and networks. Every seminar they attend, every book they read, every conversation they have with a mentor is like adding fuel to the fire of their success. They don't see learning as optional, they see it as survival. Meanwhile, those who remain stuck often let opportunities pass them by. They say, "I don't have time," or "it's too expensive," or "maybe later." But later becomes never. And while they hesitate, the wealthy move forward, turning knowledge into leverage and opportunities into stepping stones. Think of it this way: a tree that stops growing begins to die. The same is true for people. If you stop expanding, your income, your influence, and your potential will all shrink over time. The wealthy keep their roots strong and their branches wide by constantly feeding themselves new experiences, new challenges, and new skills. It doesn't always look dramatic growth. It can be as simple as reading for 30 minutes a day, joining a mastermind group, or asking questions instead of pretending to know all the answers. But over time, these small choices compound into extraordinary results. The wealthy know that every opportunity to grow is an investment. And unlike material possessions, growth can never be taken away from you. A car can be lost, money can be spent, but knowledge and skills stay with you forever, multiplying your capacity to create more. So ask yourself, how many opportunities to grow have you ignored? And how different would your life look today if you had embraced them instead? Because the truth is, ignoring growth keeps you stuck. Embracing it opens doors you never knew existed. And this leads us to the fifth thing rich people never do. Number 5. They never fear calculated risks. Fear is one of the strongest forces that keeps people stuck in mediocrity. Most people avoid risk because it feels unsafe. They cling to comfort zones, convinced that security means never taking chances. But the wealthy see things differently. They know that avoiding risk entirely is the greatest risk of all. Rich people don't throw themselves blindly into danger. They don't gamble recklessly or leap without a parachute. Instead, they master the art of calculated risks. They study, they plan, they analyze, and then, when the odds are in their favor, they act. This mindset is what separates growth from stagnation. While others stay frozen in fear, the wealthy move forward. They understand that every opportunity carries some level of risk, but that risk can be minimized with knowledge, strategy, and preparation. Think about it. Starting a business, investing in real estate, launching a new idea, all of these feel risky. But the wealthy ask a different question. What's the cost of not trying? They know that standing still often costs far more than moving ahead. Every great success story is written by someone who dared to take a calculated risk. Behind every fortune lies a decision that could have failed, but didn't, because courage outweighed fear. Those who remain poor often let fear dictate their lives. They see risk and retreat. They wait for the perfect moment, which never arrives. Meanwhile, opportunities pass them by, landing in the hands of those willing to embrace uncertainty with wisdom and courage. The truth is, life itself is a risk. Every day carries uncertainty. The difference is whether you let fear chain you down or whether you step forward with confidence. Knowing you've done your homework, wealth is not built in the comfort zone. It is built at the edge where preparation meets courage, and where calculated risks turn into extraordinary rewards. And this leads us to the sixth and final thing rich people never do. Number 6. Adapt to change. If there's one thing wealth and life have in common, it's this: nothing stays the same. Markets rise and fall, businesses boom and collapse, jobs appear and disappear. Entire industries are born, thrive, and vanish all within a single lifetime. The self-made millionaire doesn't fear change. They anticipate it, embrace it, and most importantly, they adapt to it. Why adaptability is wealth's silent partner. Think about the biggest financial stories of the past century. Those who adapted thrived. Those who resisted got left behind. Blockbuster clung to physical stores while Netflix adapted to digital streaming. Kodak resisted digital photography while competitors embraced it. On the flip side, Apple shifted from computers to music, to phones, to an entire ecosystem, and became one of the world's wealthiest companies. Adaptability isn't optional. It's survival. The fixed versus growth mentality. At the heart of adaptability lies mindset. A fixed mindset says, this is how it's always been. This is how it must be. A growth mindset says, things are changing. How can I grow with them? Millionaires live in the growth mindset. They don't see change as a threat, they see it as a signal. A signal to pivot, to learn, to innovate, adapting in personal finances. Change doesn't just happen in global markets, it happens in your personal life too. You might lose a job, an investment might crash, an unexpected expense might shake your savings. The question isn't whether these things will happen, they will. The question is, will you adapt? Millionaires build buffers, diversify their income streams, and prepare mentally for uncertainty. They know wealth isn't a straight line, it's a winding path with ups and downs. The role of curiosity, adaptability, is fueled by curiosity. The moment you stop learning, you stop adapting. That's why self-made millionaires read, study, and ask questions relentlessly. They stay open to new ideas, new technologies, new strategies. They'd rather be students of the future than prisoners of the past. As Charles Darwin famously said, not the strongest survive, but the most adaptable stories of adaptation in action. During the 2008 financial crisis, millions lost everything. But some investors saw opportunity in the chaos, buying undervalued stocks, real estate, and businesses. Those who adapted came out stronger. Or consider Elon Musk. When electric cars were dismissed as impossible, he adapted to the future and built Tesla. When space travel seemed unreachable, he adapted again and built SpaceX. His wealth didn't come from sticking to the known, it came from adapting to the unknown. Practical ways to become more adaptable. You don't need billions to practice adaptability. Here's how you can start. Stay informed. Read widely. Not just in your field. Stay aware of global trends. Diversify. Don't put all your income or investments in one basket. Experiment. Try small projects, side hustles, or investments to test new waters. Detach from comfort. Ask yourself regularly, am I clinging to this because it works, or because I'm afraid of change? Adaptability is less about predicting the future and more about preparing to move with it. The wealth effect of adaptability. When you adapt, you don't just survive change, you profit from it. Where others see crisis, you see opportunity. Where others freeze, you move. Where others resist, you pivot. And in that gap lies wealth. So far, we've seen principles of discipline, strategy, patience, and adaptability. But there's still another key trait that fuels every millionaire's journey: the hunger to keep learning. Because wealth is not just about money, it's about growth. And that brings us to the seventh wealth principle. Final reminder, the wealthy mindset. We have uncovered 6 powerful truths. 6 things rich people never do. They never waste time on regret. They never put all their eggs in one basket. They never spend without a plan. They never ignore opportunities. To grow, they never fear calculated risks. And they never forget to give back. At first glance, these may seem like simple choices, but look deeper, and you'll see they are not just habits, they are mindsets. They reveal a way of thinking that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Wealth is not built only by the things you do. It is also built by the traps you refuse to fall into, by letting go of regret. You free your future by diversifying. You protect your foundation by planning your spending. You give direction to your money instead of letting it control you. By embracing growth, you expand what is possible. By facing calculated risks, you step into opportunities that others fear. And by giving back, you ensure your wealth has meaning beyond yourself. The truth is, anyone can start walking this path. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need extraordinary luck. What you need is awareness, discipline, and the courage to think differently from the crowd. Remember this, success isn't always about doing more sometimes. It's about stopping what no longer serves you. Prosperity begins the moment you choose to leave behind the habits that keep you stuck. So, as you move forward, ask yourself, which of these 6 changes can I make today? Because every small shift in your mindset brings you closer to the life of freedom, abundance, and purpose that you deserve. The wealthy mindset is not a secret, it's a choice. And now, that choice is in your hands. Thank you for spending this moment with Awaken Light Audio. If something today touched your heart or opened your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you most? Tell us about your journey, your questions, your breakthroughs, and let us know what you'd love to hear next. Subscribe to stay connected. And if this message could uplift someone you care about, send it their way, because light grows when it's shared. Until next time, stay present, stay awakened, and keep becoming who you're meant to be.